this video, I will not only teach you how you will be perceived by others as confident, but also feeling confidence in yourself. So the first thing I want to get clear is that confidence has to be earned. Confidence is a mind state and a mind frame. So how do we even influence that mind frame? With thoughts, as many things, right? Everything that happens around us, we think about. And then it also goes into the unconscious mind, which is then also influencing the way we will be perceiving the world, the way we will be acting. So that means we want to have a way in which we can perceive ourselves as more respectable, as better people, and also the world around us as a better place. So the concept that I have been using for the past 2 years is the ultimate persona. The ultimate persona is a slightly unrealistic ideal of the person you will want to be. So the GigaChat version of you, basically. Close your eyes and just imagine this guy for a second. Who will he be? Will he be the strong guy which lifts every day? Of course, right? He will be that. He will eat clean. He will look good. He will have a nice aura to be around. He will smile a lot. He will laugh a lot. He will do what he feels like because he just is that free in himself, right? So then you can also add in your traits that you have currently. So these will be your hobbies, for example. Apply this onto your ultimate persona. That means hobbies which you will have perfected or will be good in such an amazing extent that you would be happy sharing these hobbies and these gifts almost to the world, right? So that means, for example, you will want to be so good at playing the piano that you will be at the train station and everybody walking by gives you an approving look. Or that you are the jogger which rises at 4 a.m. in the morning to get jogging before school. And this is quite infamous because everybody has seen him run already and now he's inspiring others. Set these expectations and visualizations for the dream idea, for the dream man that you will be. So once you got them down, you can write it down on a piece of paper, really take like 5 minutes for it, you have the time, right? Just write them down. And once you have that down, make him your god. Every time you make a decision that you will think about, it's like, what would the dream version of myself do here? So for example, you're out with friends right now. They will go to grab some ice cream. Now, will you be eating ice cream with them? You might say, yeah, of course, they are my friends and I want to eat ice cream with them, right? It's a social interaction kind of thing, but the ultimate person, the ultimate person you want to be won't do that. So make him your god until you become him. That means, okay, right now in this moment you have to be him or as close to him as possible. That means, okay, you say no ice cream, thanks. In this situation, you would say, no, no ice cream for me, please. But thanks. I will take an espresso instead. And now you still have the social interaction and you're getting some coffee. Great. You can still talk to them, but you don't have to consume the sugars in yourself. And do you see how this plays into yourself, that you respect yourself? Instead of just making the easy decision, going with the flow of the friends, which want the ice cream. And then suddenly you have also eaten the ice cream, but in the evening when you stand in front of the mirror, you feel worse because you know, okay, I've eaten this ice cream, because you know that you've eaten the ice cream. And actually you can't afford it yet. You've made the decision that you want to eat ice cream with them. But honestly, it wasn't even that much of a wish. You don't even like ice cream that much. And was it really worth the calories, the sugars that you put into yourself? If this happens over and over again, I can see why people won't respect themselves. When I look back onto my younger self, he was always eating candy. He had this habit of going down the stairs into the kitchen, and then each time he passed the kitchen, he would take a little chocolate bar or would grab a handful of gummy bears. Could you respect that guy? Which was also fat and then just went back to playing Fortnite. Of course not, right? So the way you look at other people will also kind of mirror back to yourself. If you can't respect the other people, you also don't want to be like them. Don't have weird double standards. Set yourself to standards and hold yourself to them. Extremely high standards. If you want to be a young guy, which is a high achiever. Now, a further step, which I deeply encourage you to do, is doing extreme things that the ultimate persona of you would do. So yeah, it's for example going out at 4 a.m. in the morning while your whole family is actually sleeping. So you have to sneak out and then run without the moon even being out. So you run in the pitch black. But you friend, you're in the top 0.001% of your city. You've done sports that early. You've put in the efforts, which is also a huge topic I will get into later. And then you can go to school knowing that you've just ran in the morning. You did this hard thing. Can you see how you can be proud of yourself and how you will feel like the others haven't done as much in the day? So, if there's some weird guys which always call you out, you can actually smile to yourself and say, these guys have slept till 7 in the morning and then got here by bus. They have nothing to say. Because, of course, there's always going to be guys like that that try to discourage you in your journey. But now, they might be even right about some things. But if you do the things, they will expose your wounds, right? They will show you, okay, you're fat, for example. You got this one wound, you're fat. Now, you haven't actually seen this wound before. Now you look at it, oh, wait, I'm fat. This goes into your unconscious. And then you can't deny it. You can't say, oh, I love myself being fat, because quite frankly, you don't, right? So you change something. You go for a jog, and boom, you've just healed a bit. You've made that wound disappear because you did something, you put in the effort. The guys calling you out in school have nothing to say now. Because, well, you did the thing. You put in the effort, and you know for a fact that you're better than these snoozy heads which laid in bed till 7, and then came here by bus, had no exercise, strolled on the bus, and you're improving. So you might not have the results that they have right now, but you sure put in a lot of, but you sure put in a lot more effort than them. So of course you've heard this a million times, right? Shoulders back, solar plexus out. Look at your posture. Now, your head up with a string and walk around like that. I won't stand up for you now, but I hope you get it. You stand up straight. Some people will say you have a stick in your ass. Fuck them, right? Just walk as your dream avatar, as your super, as your ultimate ideal would do, would walk, would have his body language. Would he be fast in doing things or slow? Probably slow, right? Then would he hold eye contact? Of course he would. Now you can see all of these things. You now have at least 10 new goals which you will work towards. So you will walk upright. You will take your time when doing gestures. So if a person asks for you to take or to give him the pen, You don't just rush over and try to give him the pen as quickly as you can, but you actually take your time, do it consciously, and then give it to him. It's much better than just being the bunny that has to flee. I remember every time I had to go through the school hallway, it was so uncomfortable for me. There were all of these tables and benches which people would be sitting on and doing their schoolwork. Now I had to get my book out of the locker. So I go out of class and go behind the corner, and suddenly everybody's looking at me because, okay, a new person, a new object has just come into their vision. Now I have to walk 20 meters to my locker, sit down, do the little code, and walk back. I did not once hold eye contact or make eye contact with anybody that was sitting there, but I had the body language. I tried to act out on the body language advice that I was told. I walked with my back so tilted that, you know, this Conor McGregor clip, right, where he walks like this with his shoulders back. I was that guy. I had this weird habit of just walking walking weirdly as other people looked at me. Almost it felt like my legs wouldn't go the way I would want to, as if I had to learn walking right. It just was because I felt so tense in myself and I wasn't taking my time. So when other people are looking at you, I know for a fact this is the same for you. You feel uncomfortable as well when people look at you when you walk. Then just go slower and get into your mind over and over again. Do the reps of, yeah, people look at me, but what will they actually do? The worst thing that happened to me was some dick calling to me and asking why I walked so weirdly. Now, you can continue to walk like this, of course, and then sometime maybe even get the guy to call you out on that. But what if you actually took your time, improved on it? Of course, it will take weeks and months, but you will get there. And then your chances of getting called out like this are gone because you now walk normally, like you would walk, like your dream avatar would walk, not forced. But you just shift into this walking state so much that it isn't even noticeable that it is not you, right? So it's practice, yeah. Don't overplay your don't overplay your insecurities in that regard. Just have the humility to look at these things, at these points you have to fix them, and move on. You've improved. You don't have the same pains, and you can respect yourself for fixing these things. What also helped me in my self perception is going away from social media. So I've never had Snapchat, I've never had Instagram, I've never had TikTok, but I was a YouTube addict my whole childhood and into 3 years ago. Actually, no, I'm gonna say it's 2 years ago as well. I was scrolling a lot on YouTube Shorts. I don't know if that was out 2 years ago already, but I would watch these videos over and over again, spend the whole day on them. And now I see these thumbnails with the buff guys, with the shredded six pack, with the muscles that are big like some mountains. How do you think I felt as the guy getting into lifting? Having not much muscle yet, still having a bit of the stomach. Do you think I felt like. Do you think I felt inspired? Or do you think I felt like I was not good enough? Because automatically, we will compare ourselves to things we see online. There's so many unrealistic standards, and Most people using these shorts and some weird gaming videos, for example, these people are brain dead. And now, would you really trust their brains to set standards for your life as well? Would you even want to listen to them and poison your mind with these topics, with these false ideals? Of course you wouldn't. That would just be stupid. And you're not stupid, are you? So, if you use social media, like YouTube, I use YouTube as well still, then focus on getting the education. If you use Opera GX, for example, then there's add-ons which can, I believe it's less addictive YouTube. For example, you download this extension and then you can just don't show any videos on the home screen. So you always have to put something in the search bar. So you first don't see any thumbnails, some degenerate titles, but you have a straight vision for what you will want to search. Now, there's also a second one I'm using that deletes the comments. You can't see comments anymore and you can't see the right side of the video. With these, you don't get any influence from things you can't control. So, okay, you control what you type into the search bar. Great. You control what you watch. Great. You don't have to go through the comments of some dickheads hating on something the guy said in the video. Great. So now you really have a clear direction. And you don't get some false ideals into your mind, as I said, that will make you feel worse, that will give you negative energy. You can also call it that. But I promise to you that, of course, quitting social media will give you advantages. But it's also one of the most used drug, if you can call it that. And I believe you might even can. Getting dopamine over and over again. Staying stuck on the screen. Like right now, if you can, turn off this video. I will give you some value, but turn off this video and just go for a walk. So don't sit inside. The last topic I want to talk about is effort. So effort is worth more than a result. I've talked about this already. The guys that are your bullies, they might have the results. They might have the body already that looks quite good, that they can attract girls with. But they are getting complacent. Now you put in the effort, you do not yet have the results. Okay, fine. You will get there, right? And the nice thing about how effort and confidence works is that there was a study that focused on children, on students in school. And then there were two groups of children. The one group was complimented on their grades, on their performance. So they got good grades, right? A's and B's. And the teacher said, "Oh, you are so good at school. You are so good at that." But then there was the other group of children, which was graded and complimented on their efforts. So they might have gotten a bad grade, but they really put work into the project. So the teachers will go to them and say, "Okay, even though you didn't get this good grade, you put in a lot of work for this. And I really appreciate your effort. You're so good at making the effort for the thing." And it turned out that when later given a test that the students, based on their grades, given a hard option and an easy option, would take the easy one. And the children graded on their efforts or complimented on their efforts took the harder one. Now you can see the guys on the effort part, they did the harder thing. And the Other guys with the good grades got complacent and settled for the easy thing. Would you rather be the little soft guy which just wants the compliments, or are you the guy that wants to grow and therefore puts in the effort? I think the choice is pretty clear here. So you might feel this burst of motivation right now in you, that you're gonna try so hard on these things and these things and these things. And this is totally nice, but this might fade after 1 day, 2 days. And you might want to go for the easier thing. Because times are so fast paced right now that people just want to jump from one thing to the other. You get the easy dopamine, then jump onto the next one when the rate of interest isn't that high anymore. Which of course make your time worthwhile. But also, don't just go for the easy things. If it is easy, it's not worth it. If it were easy, it wouldn't be worth it. So always keep that in mind. Rather test yourself, grow, make more of an effort than just getting the trophy. It's not about the trophy. What's also a nice thing in this is that if you make more efforts, of course your confidence will grow because you're the quite hardworking person, which again comes back to your ultimate ideal. But then, because you're making more of an effort, you will advance so much more in your endeavors. Do you see how that plays into that? Therefore, put in the effort. I have gone through all my notes now, and I hope this video has given you value. If this video has given you value, consider subscribing. Until then, stay safe and see you soon.